wonderful opportunity to stand here. And I'm sure many people will realize my joy as I have my teachers up there. So, His Excellency, the President of the Republic, President John Dramani, represented by the Deputy Chief of Staff, Right Honorable Speaker, represented by the Special Advisor, His Royal Majesty, the General Superintendent of the Assemblies of God Church, the Director, the Reverend Dr. Stephen Yunusom Wingam was my president, vice president in University Fellowship. Then Honorable Francis Xavier Susu, Honorable Member of Parliament, Director of Pantang Hospital, distinguished guests, members of the clergies of Islam, Christianity, traditional religion, management and staff of hospital, Pantang Hospital, the media, ladies and gentlemen, our protocols observed. I wish to stand here and express my gratitude and appreciation as this occasion gives me an immense pleasure to join you in celebrating 50 years of Pantang Hospital service to our nation. This is half a century of continuous care delivered through challenges in spite of limited resources. As the director was talking, most of the buildings are uncompleted. Yet, we've been able to have this remarkable achievement. I salute all staff, past and present, whose sacrifices and resilience brought us here today. We thank you. And as some of you may have known me, probably as the stammering linguist from Nunya Dume. In the tales of Nunya Dume, the elders spoke of a great house. It was tiled with gold. Its windows were polished like crystal, but the pillars that carried it were weak. And so when the storm came, the house swayed and the children trembled. The lesson was clear. A nation is only as strong as the health of its people. And the pillar of health will fall if mental health is neglected. Pantang Hospital's challenges are well known. I mean, it's been shared over and over. This is not the only occasion. Dilapidated buildings, unsafe boundaries, inadequate funding, staff stretched to their limits to provide, management for aggressive patients without, straight jackets and stuff like that. So, and we can see the visible burden of abandoned patients with chronic mental illness. I have had one here at Pantang when I was here where a prominent person came that their sister has been here admitted for the past 15 or so years, that they are building a place for her. So when they finish the building, they will come for her. So I shouldn't discharge the patient, even though the patient was well. So these are the real challenges we go through. And I must say, these are not just Pantang Hospital's challenges alone. These are the struggles of all the psychiatric hospitals we have in Ghana. And we cannot fold our arms. Mental health is the backbone of every development. And our nation cannot rise on a bent backbone. Because as it has been shown, countries with resources are not necessarily rich countries. Countries without resources like Japan, Malaysia are very rich. So the only link between wealth, and the country or society is our brain. The brain is what converts what you have to productivity. So if we don't think about the mind, the brain, definitely it means that we'll be less productive as a nation. But to me, the hospital is not just another hospital at all. This is where I began my mental health career in 2005. Right after house job in Kolebu, my former director, Dr. Anajadu, sent a vehicle for me. I mean, right after house job, when I was looking to pick my things from Kolibu, to already furnished bungalow for me to stay there. At that time, Dr. Alote of blessed memory was with us. After my specialist training in Accra Psychiatric Hospital, I returned to work here in 2009 as a young psychiatrist and worked here until I would say June 2012, because that is when in 2011 I had also gone to do drug abuse epidemiology, because that is we had this drug rehab done at Johns Hopkins University in Baltimore, US. And when I came back on my return, I was posted by Prof. Akwesi Osei to Anchor Psychiatric Hospital. And from there, I became the hospital director. I stand here on the shoulders of giants. Prof. Akwesi Osei, the pioneer chief executive, formerly the chief psychiatrist, now the chief executive of the Mental Health Authority, laid the foundations with courage and foresight. Prof. Penaman Appel, who strengthened this institution and advanced community-based mental health care. We had Dr. Caroline Emisa, who was the deputy chief executive and held the fort between the periods of transition from Prof. Osei to Prof. Appel. This vision brought us this far, and I pay tribute to their service and sacrifice. As we celebrate Pantang's Hospital's 50th anniversary, we are reminded that mental health is not outside the national agenda at all. The current resetting of the nation with a big push in healthcare under the banner of Mahama Cares gives us an unprecedented opportunity for mental health. I mean, it has to be part of that big push. Mental health should not be an afterthought. It must be the central pillar. Like I said, without it, we have lowered productivity and we cannot make wealth. Our work at the Mental Health Authority is not a change of vision at all, nah, but a continuation of the building universal quality mental health care accelerated by the national priorities. Let me be clear here, there is no change in vision of the Mental Health Authority. Our mandate remains universal, accessible, and quality mental health care for all Ghanaians. What I bring on board is a continuation with the sharpened priorities like universal primary mental health care, telepsychiatry, and comprehensive training with sub-specialization. In fact, before I was appointed with drug addiction, I had also gone to the US for sub-specialization in old age psychiatry. So we need sub-specializations for the nuanced care to give the quality. So as acting chief executive of the authority, I stand here to declare a new focus, which I've shared with my staff in the authority. I've also shared with the executives of the Psychiatric Association of Ghana, PAG. I'm here to meet with GPA and the other professionals that we want to reset the minds to reset the nation. So we have it as mental, resetting the minds to reset the nation. And I must emphasize, this is not a slogan. It's not a roadmap. It is a roadmap anchored on 3 pillars, as I mentioned earlier. Universal primary mental health care. We want to attend to, we want to attach residents, that is doctors in training in psychiatry, who will be attached to districts and sub-districts so that they will be in direct contact with community mental health officers who will be providing the services at the grassroots. And we will bring this like specialist expertise, those who are in training, who are specialist care, to have direct contact with our staff in the communities and in the districts. This will make mental health care accessible at the grassroots where it is most needed. In telepsychiatry, We'll harness technology to bridge the distance, but it will be very difficult to get many, highly trained into the communities. We don't have the numbers. So we want to harness technology to reach them. So we will have telehealth, and in this instance, telepsychiatry. In fact, among all telepsychiatry work best, where the senior person can see the video of the patient with the younger doctor, describe what it is, because we don't usually examine people by touch. We look at how you behave and all that. So telepsychiatry works very well for mental health, and that is what we want to employ, so that every Ghanaian everywhere, whether you're in Accra, you're in Wau, Zabzugu, or Tatale, any remote village you find yourself, you should have access to a psychiatrist and a psychologist. No one should be too far from care. Training and specialized training of all mental health workers, from nurses to psychologists to psychiatrists. We want to promote and prioritize continuous professional development, and not only development, but like I said, sub-specialization. We want to build our capacity to meet not only today's needs, but also tomorrow's emergencies. We want a well-trained workforce, which for us is the strongest defense against the rising tide of mental illness. These pillars cannot stand without funding. And I hear that is the new chemical discovered to improve healthcare. It's called vitamin M. Vitamin M. So we need vitamin M to provide mental health care. M stands for money. That's a new chemical that has been found to improve healthcare. Okay, so Parliament created the mental health fund with the Act 846 in 2012. 13 years on, we are yet to see the fund. And those who were old enough to see that advert, the small boy asked, Nesikane were him. I urge governments, partners, stakeholders, let us finally give life to this fund. With sustainable financing, our institutions can deliver care worthy of our people. In conclusion, Honorable Chair, distinguished guests, our elders in Nunya Dume said, when the drum beat is crooked, the children cannot dance. If our mental health system falters, the dance of our nation falters. But if we strengthen it through universal primary care, through telepsychiatry, through training and retraining, we will definitely set the drum beat right, and Ghana will dance into a healthier, brighter future. On behalf of the Board of the Mental Health Authority, I wish Pantang Hospital a blessed and successful 50th anniversary. May the next 50 years not only mark survival, but signify transformation of mental health in Ghana. Thank you very much.